watching the Usman Edwards fight. So it was an interesting way of watching the fights, but I watched them nonetheless. I wasn't gonna miss them.
Can't miss them.
Can't miss them. So
Not
yes,
a trilogy. Can't miss a trilogy,
no, and especially this one. This was a good trilogy.
Yeah, it's an interesting trilogy, right? Because it's like once from way back, and then
Way back.
it takes forever for them to kind of meet again. They meet again. It's like, all right, immediate, and then
Yep.
so it's kind of a weird like timeline for the trilogy.
It wasn't like Figueiredo versus Moreno. It was just like
No.
boom, boom, boom. They're fighting every weekend for a year. It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like that.
No.
But still, this I enjoyed this trilogy, and I thought that it was a good rivalry. Just the
Yeah, it
right
was
amount
good.
of trash talk.
Mhm.
The skill sets there for Leon Edwards. Kamaru Usman's going to go down as one of the best welterweights of all time. So it's
Yeah.
a really good rivalry. But that being said, let's go and get into it.
Yeah, shout out Regent says comment sections have been fun this past day.
Oh, I bet.
And
I
what a
bet.
weird fight too, with like fouls and like they kept stopping the fight, and like it was just kind of a weird fight,
It was. It was.
like,
But I
but good. It was still good.
it was good, man. Yes, the fence grab was one of the most blatant
Solid.
fence grabs that I've ever seen. And I would have just loved it if Edwards was like, yep. Like he walked to the center of the octagon himself and like looked at the judges, was like, hey guys, take a point, okay? But I know what I did.
The funniest part was when they stopped it for the fence grab. He was like, "No,
What?
no, I just put my hand up."
What?
Yeah, and they show the
Yeah.
replay, and he's like,
But that's what I'm
"So
saying.
funny,
Like,
dude."
there's no way that you didn't think you grabbed that fence.
I don't know, man. I can't put myself in the mindset like if I have a monster like Usman trying to take me down, and it's spur of the moment, and you're like, "I don't want to go down," and then you do it, and then all of a sudden they stop it. You're like, "Wait, what happened?" Because you're so in the moment, Uh, Region Bilal, no Colby, no Hamzat. You're dumb. You're ugly. Gotta love it. Yeah, basically, that basically summarizes the MMA world right now. In that, just that one comment.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. And then, so outside of that fence grab, we also had a couple nut shots, right? Where the
Yeah.
fight had to be stopped. And then after the first round, it kind of started settling down a little bit. And
Yeah.
I was thoroughly impressed with Leon Edwards' footwork, man. He
Mhm.
kept on going to the body against Kamaru Usman, trying to set up that head kick. And you could see in this shot right here, right? Solid
Yeah.
body.
Well, so what's
Usman's
funny
like,
is
there's no way I'm putting this hand down, dude.
no, exactly, and like that was the game plan, right? Was like this kick over and over and over and over again, which was great. And I was like, man, as soon as he starts going high with it, this is going to be awesome. And then he only threw the one high kick the whole fight, but
And it was
it's
close.
because, and it was close. It wrapped around the hand, right? But
Yeah.
it's because Usman had to have known. I mean, his fight IQ is very good, so it's like he's getting ripped to the body with his body kick. He knows it's to set up the high kick. He's not an idiot. So
Oh,
he just
yeah.
kept the hand up and just kept eating the body kicks over and over and over. And
Which
like
I
that's
think
what you have
slowed
to
him
do.
down in the long run.
It slowed him down in the long run, but that's why Usman gave him. It was cool to see Usman give him so much credit for the game plan at the end in the post fight interview because
Yeah.
it's you're either going to eat the body shot all day or you're going to start blocking the body shot and you're going to get ripped to the face again. So like it's a great game plan. That plus the Leon invested heavy in the leg kicks in the first 2 rounds. And everyone talks about Usman's knees. He has to walk downstairs backwards because his knees are so bad. He can't run anymore because his knees are so bad. All this stuff. So what do? Yeah, you just start kicking him in the legs, kick him in
Yep.
the knees. And the leg kicks and the body shots, the kicks mostly. Just a fantastic game plan to fight someone like Kamaru, and it's difficult. And
There's
this is
the
why it's
head kick.
there's the one head kick, right? But it's difficult because, or it's cool, I should say. It shows how good Leon really is because it's easy to know that that's a great game plan, but to be able to execute it against somebody whose style really should negate that part of your game, right? Usman's pressure heavy, wrestling up against the fence, out cardio you. It's a smothering style. What do you do against a kicker? You smother him. Like that's what you're
Yep.
supposed to do. And
Which he
like you
tried to do
said with
that.
and he tried to do that. And like you said, with Leon's footwork, he just did a fantastic job of just not getting stuck up against the fence and being able to create the space to throw that kick. He did a
100%. And
fantastic
also,
job.
when they get up close, when he would smother them, right? And there'd be a couple of close exchanges, and on the exits, the knees just
Yeah.
there was something that Leon Edward and Camp saw on film that showed Usman exits with his head low often.
Yeah.
So, whatever they were doing, he would just exit with the knee, and it landed multiple times. Some of those shots, man,
Almost put
like
him
the
out.
first knee he landed, I was like, how is he still standing? Because that was solid.
Yeah, Usman, one of the things that I don't think gets talked about enough too much about Usman is like his recovery is next level. He gets rocked in damn near every fight he's
Shot
in.
against Burns.
Yeah, got rocked against Burns. Colby rocked him. Like
Yep.
he gets rocked often because his striking is pretty good offensively, but defensively there's still there's some work to be done, And I don't
Yeah.
know at this point, are you going to be able to bridge that gap? Probably not. And you kind of take it for what it is because his offense is such a great style. Just really he has great power, so he can kind of get away with some lackluster technique.
Hmm.
His jab is fantastic.
Good jab. Yeah.
Outside of his jab, there's not much going as far as like mechanics, right? But because he cracks and you're so worried about getting held up against the fence and taken down, he gets away with it. But eventually someone's going to find the path there, and Leon pretty much did. Now he's 2-0 or 2-1 against him, right?
Yeah. And, you hear Trevor Whitman in the corner telling him, like, as soon as he starts backing up, you run up to him. Like,
Yeah,
and
he's
he
like
goes,
literally
well,
run at him.
don't do anything crazy. He's like, but
Yeah,
run up to him.
but do the
and,
yeah.
and the thing that I love about Usman is that he listens. Like
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
that Whitman talks about in the corner, you see Usman trying to execute immediately
Mhm.
coming out of the corner, which is something that you love to see fighters, and especially high-level fighters like Usman, who probably at
They're not
this
too.
point could probably think like, I have a lot of this figured out, dude. Okay,
Yeah,
but he really does a good job of listening to Trevor Whitman as well. And Trevor Whitman, we all know, is one of the best minds in
yeah.
MMA. So why wouldn't you listen to the guy? But props to Usman for that. And like you said, uh, the class that he showed at the end of the
So
fight,
good. Yeah.
I know, dude. Carried himself like a true champion.
So that's what I get it. This whole like WWE era that we're in with the UFC, where like people have to sell the fights. You got Colby yelling some corny bullshit in the front row, and then that's what you have, right? That's how they That's how they make title fights, right?
Yep.
But it's so great when someone doesn't do it, right? And they're just cool as fuck. And like Usman, you could tell he's a cool dude because in those moments, yeah, I heard someone say Usman, whenever he's like promoting fights, he talks like he's telling ghost stories.
He
He's always
does.
like,
That's a
he's
really
like,
good way to
yeah.
describe it.
I don't take credit for that. I saw someone else say that, but he's always like, and I just break them, and I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like he talks like really quiet. It's really weird, and it comes across like not very genuine. Like it seems uncomfortable doing it. But then you get moments like that after the fight where he's like not talking like he's telling a ghost story. He's talking at like a regular volume, and like he's just being
Yeah.
cool as fuck. And it's like you can just do that, man. Let the fighting speak for itself. Just do that.
That's a great point because I did watch Usman on Rogan.
Yeah,
And
dude.
it was
It's
a lot of the ghost speaking stories, like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, that's a really good way to describe it because it kind of would get to me. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cringy. But it,
yeah.
it was either way, like I enjoyed listening to him on Rogan
Oh
because you
yeah,
did
no,
get
he's
some
yeah,
glimpses of a normal dude when they'd start laughing and talking.
yeah,
And then when he said, hey, England, y'all got yourself
yeah,
a good guy and a great champion. And then did you see DC's face when he said that? He's like,
yeah. I know,
what?
yeah.
What did he
And
say?
and when he first got on the mic, Regent says, "Love to see the class between the fighters when they are pressured into trash talking left and right these days." Exactly, it's so
Absolutely.
refreshing. It's so
Absolutely.
refreshing, and
Chachi
it
would have
was
been proud.
yeah, yeah. What's cool is when they put the mic to Usman at the end, the crowd starts booing automatically, right? Because like obviously they're going to, and you can see Leon in the background like waving everybody off, like no, 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 like hype this guy up, and it's like that's sick, dude. It's
I
sick.
know.
Both of
I
them, it went
know.
both ways.
So now I guess we're getting Colby versus Leon Edwards in July.
Fucking hell, yeah. I cannot believe that shit, dude. And I see all these
I want to
people,
see it.
all these people in the MMA media. They're like, I would have rather see Leon versus Masvidal next, honestly. And it's like
Oh.
Bilal Muhammad is on like an 8-fight win streak. What are we doing here? What are we doing? He's the
I,
only
I
one that's
I
active.
I mean we saw Bilal versus
Hey,
Leon,
when's the
right?
last? Yeah, but it got stopped from an eye poke. We didn't get to see it. I mean, we saw what was
Yeah.
going to
I
happen,
mean
but
he was getting
Bilal, yeah, but
worse.
let's see. I'm not even a huge Bilal fan. I'll be
Neither
honest.
am
When
I.
he's on, like, I don't get very excited when he's fighting. His last fight, absolute banger, absolute banger. And since that Leon fight, he's just gone through everybody still. Like, he's undeniable the number one contender. Let's see. Regen says the only reason to give Colby the shot is them sending a message to all the fighters to start talking more trash. Exactly. Colby, can you name the last time he had a top 10 win? Do you know when his last top 10 win was?
No.
It was before COVID. The last time he
Really?
beat somebody in the top 10 was before COVID.
Before
And now
COVID?
he's getting a title shot.
Well, dude, it's because COVID slowed him down, man.
Yeah, but you know who it didn't slow down? Bilal Muhammad. You know what I mean? Like, it's bullshit, dude. This is one of the least deserving title shots in a long time. And that's saying something because there's been some doozies, you know?
Yeah,
Entertainment business first, sports second, maybe even
I
third.
want to
What's
see
third?
it. Give me Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards in July. I want to see it, dude.
I hope Leon shuts that shit down, dude. He's the champ now. I hope he shuts that shit down just like he did in the cage when they were like, we got a guy. They try to hype it up, and he's like, what? That guy's not even fighting. He's been
Let me
sitting out
ask
for
you:
2 years.
Can you see Colby winning the title?
Yeah, but that's not what it's about.
Can
That's
you
not what
see
it's
Leon
about.
winning or retaining the title?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, dude, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see it. What happens?
I would
Give me
like to see it
Colby.
if Colby gets one win that matters. I mean, it's
And
insane,
he
man.
might in July against Leon Edwards.
Yeah, I hate that shit, man. They're doing. People were talking, oh, but Masvidal has the 3-piece. Remember the 3-piece in the soda, and it's like, who gives a fuck? Masvidal's
Yeah, I don't care about
washed.
that. Don't give me
He's
Masvidal.
washed. All these
Don't
people
give me
care about
Masvidal.
it, these storylines, and it's literally ruining the sport. It's
I
ruining the
don't
sport.
I don't want to see Masvidal go. I think Masvidal versus Burns is a good matchup. I think that's fun.
No, it's not. It's
I think
terrible. Burns is gonna
that's a
retire
fun
that
matchup.
dude.
Well, and that's perfect. Get him out of the way. But I think it's a fun
Well,
matchup.
yeah.
It'll be fun to watch. But I want to see Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards because I still feel like Colby's in his prime. Regen says Will wants to run the UFC into the ground. He
Bro,
does.
they're gonna do
And
it to
then
themselves, man.
he's gonna be like the one meme on the side with one FC, just like look at his lips.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah. But dude, here's the thing. Like, this has happened in the past where anytime there's an undeserved title shot, it seriously fucks someone's life up. Like, it fucks their life up. It happened to Jacare. It happened to Yoel Romero. It happened to Tony Ferguson. It's gonna happen to Bilal. He's gonna eventually fight Shavkat and lose and not get his title shot, and his life will be completely different than if he had gotten that title shot. Like,
Maybe.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
And
He
UFC's
still
like,
has a
you gotta
job doing the commentary or whatever he does on the side.
He does like analyst stuff. Yeah, that's fine. But dude, championship money, dude, that's life changing. One championship fight is life changing. You know,
Yeah.
and stylistically, yeah, he was losing to Leon, but fucking, if anybody's proof, Leon high kicked Usman in the 5th round. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Regen
Regen
says I prefer merit, but Leon versus Bilal wouldn't sell well at all. So you pair it with
not.
like a middleweight title fight. You put it as the co-main in a double title fight event in July. Or if we're gonna do July, Bilal versus Leon as the co-main and John Jones versus Stipe as the main event. What do we like? It's just easy. It's easy. And guess what?
Maybe.
Colby, historically, if you look it up, if you look at like the pay-per-view numbers, Colby doesn't actually sell well. They think he does because he has the persona, but he doesn't. It doesn't translate to pay-per-view buys. It just doesn't. So that whole argument, it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Colby must have more videos of Dana. Remember when Colby walked up on Dana while he was with some side chick at the casino, and he was like, "What's up, Dana?" And Dana was pissed. He's like, "What's up, Dana? Why don't you give me a title shot?" And he's like with some random girl sitting on his lap or some shit. And then it's like ever since then, Colby's got nothing but title shots. It's like he must have some kind of dirt on Dana.
That's
Regen says
fantastic.
Bilal isn't helping himself by hanging with all the Russian fighters. If it's true, the UFC isn't fond of them right now. Potentially, I don't know what the hell's going on, man. But they also told Bilal he was going to be the backup for this fight.
And
when they told Bilal he was going to be the backup, and after the Shavkat win, that last Shavkat Rachmanov fight, Dana was like, "Yeah, we offered a couple fights to Colby, they just didn't work out, but we'll figure something out." And then all of a sudden they announced he's the backup fighter for this, and it's like, can this guy fight anybody? Like anybody? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and Regen brings up another really good point. He says Colby's interview has 2 times the views of any other video from this weekend.
Great, but it doesn't translate to pay-per-view buys. It just doesn't. Regardless if people watch him on YouTube, regardless if people talk about him on social media all the time, it doesn't translate to more money for the UFC At least not in the pay-per-views.
His Usman fight didn't do that well?
No.
Really?
Like, yeah, neither did his Masvidal fight. Like, if you look up the pay-per-view numbers, he does not. It doesn't translate. I don't know if that's because people are streaming nowadays because it's easier to stream than it is to fucking buy it through ESPN or what, but like it just doesn't translate. People,
Yeah.
because his shtick, everybody can kind of see through it. Like it's not like with Connor, it's different. You know what I mean? He kind of
They
tried to
see
do the
through
same
it,
type of thing.
but it still generates a reaction. They see through it,
True.
but people are still like, I want to see this guy get his ass kicked.
Yeah, but not like enough to pay $80. You know what I mean?
Man, that's
And
I
most
don't know too
likely,
many fights that are good enough to pay $80 or $90
I
right now. To
know.
be
Yeah.
honest, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and let's be real, like in July, it's probably still going to be a co-main. It's probably not going to be the main event. If they're talking about John Jones fighting in July for International Fight Week or whatever, it's probably going to be the co-main. So
Yeah, I
like,
mean that would be stacked though. If it's Colby versus Leon,
yeah,
John Jones
yeah.
versus Stipe, that'd be
I
really
just
good.
hate I just hate when the UFC pulls shit like this. It just makes the belt so meaningless. And it's like, what are we WWE now? It's fine if we are, but let's stop pretending like we have the best fight the best anymore. That's Dana's gripe with boxing. It's the best don't ever fight the best anymore. That's what we give you. Colby versus Leon? Fuck
They're
out of
pretty
here.
good. They're pretty good.
Colby versus Leon? Fucking hell, dude. You Colby's
I personally
so
think
unimpressive.
Colby takes out Bilal.
Maybe. So let's do it. Have him earn a
Yeah,
fucking title shot.
yeah.
They were supposed to fight. It was supposed to be Colby versus Bilal on this card. And then they were like, "Oh, we can't Colby." Like it fell through. And instead of just having it as a another fight on the card, they were like, "We'll just give Colby the backup fight." It's fucked, man. The
Hey,
UFC
dude,
does
if I'm
fighters
Colby,
dirty sometimes.
I'm gonna
Hey,
fight
no, if I'm
Bilal
Colby,
and risk it, or just wait because I know I'm gonna
no,
get a
no, no.
title shot in
Don't get me
July.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not coming down on Colby for this at all. If I'm Colby, I'm doing the same shit. I'm showing up in the pink suit,
Hundred
whatever the
percent.
fuck he wore. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, exactly. Regent says, I think it's less about Colby and more about the message it sends to the rest of the roster. Like, hey, we are WWE now, guys, so tighten up. That's exactly it. Thank you, Regent, because that's the one thing I didn't say, but that's what I
Yeah.
mean. It's just fucking it makes the sport or not the sport, it makes the UFC just like lose credibility like over and over and over again. It's just and we're gonna see it again when Connor comes back and he gets a title shot after fucking watch. This is what's gonna happen. Watch this. Kobe's gonna fight Leon, right? That's gonna happen. Connor is gonna come back and fight Chandler at 170 for some reason. He's gonna beat an unranked Chandler at 170 if he beats him, and he's gonna get a title shot. And Bilal's gonna be like, "What do I have to do?" Meanwhile, Bilal's gonna get murked by Shavkat Rakhmonov, and his title shot goes out the window for the rest of his career.
Yes,
And
and then get Rockman off the title shot after that.
yeah, I mean that's what's gonna happen. That's why it's fucked, dude. That's why you can't have these guys skipping the line. It's bullshit. I hate it so much.
Let's do it.
You look back at Jacare. They fucking shafted him. He never got his title shot. They made him fight again instead of waiting. Like they're always like, you get punished if you wait for title shots. Here we are with Colby getting one. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous that they even say that anymore. When because Jacare was going to lose his title shot, they said you have to fight. So what does he do? He fights with a fucking torn pec, gets knocked out, even though he was on like a 10-fight win streak, never gets the title shot.
Look, there's special treatment for sure. There's special
I
treatment.
hate that shit.
But it happens not just in UFC. It happens in all
Oh
sports.
yeah, it happens
Like
everywhere.
I remember this story, right? Jimmy Johnson in the 90s, his backup quarterback fell asleep during one of the team meetings. You know what Jimmy Johnson did? The coach cut him,
Made
and they said,
sausages.
"Hey," and they said, "What if Troy Aikman would have fallen asleep?" And he said, "I would have gone a pillow. Would have gone him a pillow." Dude, that's just the way it is. You know what I mean?
I
Now,
mean,
I'm
yeah,
not saying
yeah.
that Colby is the all-star be-all of the UFC. Without Colby, this stuff doesn't run. Like, I'm not saying that at all, but
Yeah.
I think he brings more entertainment into the sport. And I think that they will see more, whether we're saying it's huge pay-per-view buys or not. I think it's
Yeah.
more pay-per-view buys than if it were against Bilal.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. It is more than it would be for Bilal.
And how much is more? 10,000, 20,000, 50,000? I don't know, but more is more. In UFC, we all seen Dana runs as a businessman, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's looking at more than anything right now.
Yeah, maybe. It's just
And then
fucking
maybe he's scared. What if
Breaks my heart.
Bilal does win? What if Bilal does win? Because then at that point, in his mind, he's probably like, now that's not just one championship fight that I can't sell because of Bilal. Now it's going to be multiple championship fights that I can't sell because of Bilal. And that's probably what he's
Dude,
looking at.
that shouldn't influence anything. That shouldn't
It
influence
shouldn't,
anything.
but
It
I think it
shouldn't.
does.
It definitely does. And that's what I'm saying is bullshit.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's the worst part about the sport. It truly
Give me
is the worst
Colby.
part about the sport. Fuck Colby. I hope he fucking. I'm just over that fool, dude. Like, it's so his shtick is just so corny. It's
He's a great online
borderline,
hero.
dude. He literally he's like, you know what gimmick hasn't been done yet? Let's get all the racists in the country on my side. That's basically his whole
Oh,
shtick.
God.
That's his whole shtick. People don't want to say that that's what it is, but that's what it is, dude. He literally when he fought Usman, he literally turned it into Blue Lives Matter versus Black Lives Matter. Like, we
Yeah,
don't need this shit. It's fucking
that was rough.
disgusting, dude. It's
That was rough.
disgusting.
Like, a lot of people watch this for entertainment, but the reason that they watch it for entertainment is to get away from all the other BS that's on the news all the
Yeah,
time
I
and
don't
everything.
need that
It's
shit in
an
this sport.
escape. It's an escape.
Yeah, and
Now,
that's why it was great to see fucking
is he
Usman
a great
break his
fighter though?
jaw.
He's a great fighter.
He's all
He's a
right.
great fighter.
He's
Oh,
okay.
dude,
What's his
you
best
can't
win?
say he's just all right.
What's his best win?
Here, let's pull it up right now.
Let's pull it up. What's his best win? What's his
Let's see
most
here.
impressive win? Is it 40-year-old Robbie Lawler? Is
Ooh,
it
that was a good one.
is it frozen Tyron Woodley? Is it washed up
Let
Jorge
me
Masvidal?
see.
What's his best win?
Yeah, so
RDA maybe.
Jorge, RDA was a really good one. Damian Maya, not too impressive.
RDA is his
Brian
best one, and
Barberena,
RDA is a
Max
lightweight.
Griffin. Okay, look.
RDA is his best win, and he's a lightweight. Let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade. He's got no good wins. He's got an
He doesn't have very
streak.
many impressive wins.
He had a great streak, and he deserved the first title shot that he got.
For sure.
I'll be honest about that. But he doesn't have
He
any
gave
good
Usman
wins.
everything he could handle.
100%. He showed
You
up.
know,
He showed up.
Put up a really great fight.
Yep.
But yeah, hey, 25 minutes on this fight already.
Yeah, they're just hoping he creates 10 more Colbys. Yeah.
And they probably
Look,
will.
Here we are talking about it.
They probably
Here we
will.
are talking about it.
And they probably will, yeah. Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. All right, everybody, thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.